We're going to take a look at parabolas, and we're going to write an equation from the focus and directrix. Now, let's establish a few vocabulary definitions first before we get into this problem. You'll remember from Algebra 2 that a parabola, in its most basic form, if it's a function, is looking something like this. And we know that the equation for that would be this. Alright, what we're going to do now, though, is we're going to go ahead and build more into that equation, meaning we're going to take it off the vertex occasionally, we're going to move it around, we're going to make it fatter, skinnier, and in order to do that, we add some things, and it looks like this. Or it can look like this. Some books put the K on the other side, but let me show you what these are. This is the vertex. The vertex is this thing called HK. Okay, so that's that thing. So in this particular case, it's 0. That's why you don't see any extra stuff there, because it's 0. And then this A is actually this, 1 over 4p. So we're going to look at that in this particular equation that specifically that we're about to do. So, by the way, the A has to do with whether it's negative or positive determines whether the parabola in this case opens up or down, and the P has to do with how fat or skinny it is, basically, and if it's been pulled vertically, horizontally, all that. So let's go ahead and take a look at drawing. This is what I like to do to begin these problems. I go ahead and draw a coordinate plane, just sketching it. And I'm going to go ahead and place the focus where it says it's supposed to be, and I'm going to label it with an F. And now I'm going to put the directrix where it's supposed to be, and I don't need to label it. It's the only thing that's a line, other than the axis of symmetry we'll talk about later. So there's my directrix, and there's my focus. Alright, there's my focus. Now, on this original drawing that I did over here, you didn't see a directrix or a focus, but let me just tell you where they are. The focus is always inside here. The focus is inside. The parabola always hugs the focus. The directrix is always on the other side of the vertex from the focus. I'll say that again. The directrix is always on the other side of the vertex from the focus. Okay? So the focus is inside, the directrix is outside. So here's what we know about this. We know about this parabola. We know that the vertex has to be here. So I'm going to put a point at the origin. Well, I'm not going to put a point at the origin. Excuse me. I'm going to put a point right here. Pardon me. So it has to be lined up with the focus, right? In the other picture it would have been at the origin, but alright, so here's my vertex. I'm going to go ahead and put a V beside it. So, as you can see from this equation of a parabola opening up or down, the vertex is called HK. So let's go ahead and name our vertex. Our vertex is called -1, 0. There's our vertex. Alright? The focus doesn't actually show up on the formula when we're writing an equation. It doesn't show up, but it does affect it because it has to do with the P. So let's go ahead and take a look now at labeling the rest of it, labeling some information. This right here, the distance from the focus to the vertex, is our P. And it is always the same as the distance from the vertex to the directrix. So I would label both of them P. So in this case, right here, my P is 2. And if you think about it, this parabola has to be opening up because my focus is above it. The parabola can't be opening down. Okay, because they didn't tell us anything about the opening. We just have to look at the way that the vertex and the focus and directrix are oriented. Okay? Okay, so let's take a look at building our equation, okay, from all of the information that we have here. We know our P is 2, and we know our vertex is -1, 0. So let's put things together. So our formula has this. And we're going to go ahead now and put everything in. So I have a 2 here. I have x minus. Now, this is my h and this is my k, right? So my h is -1. I'm going to go plus. My k is 0. And here's what we get. 1/8. This is really, right? This is just really plus. So I have x plus 1. Oops, excuse me, forgot the squared. X plus 1 squared plus nothing. And of course, we don't need the plus nothing. So we get 1/8 parentheses x plus 1 close parentheses squared. And that's my formula for that parabola. Okay, hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.